Hey, it's Matt from the Grain Arcade, back playing some more Farming Simulator 15 here at Westbridge. We've got our corn harvester going. This is our first corn harvest. So we got a phone call from, where did we get that phone call from? I don't even remember where it was from now. I think it was the train station maybe. Well anyway, we got a phone call from them, and they said they're going to be needing some corn soon. So instead of running field 21 right now with the forage harvester and the current corn crop that we have, we're going to harvest this corn instead of turning it into chaff. So that's what we're going to do. Finally getting into corn here. And if you've seen our previous where was that, Bjornholm? Yeah. If you saw Bjornholm, we're just about ready to get into corn over there. We hit a great demand on the biogas plant, and we made a killing over there. We actually made too much. I know that's something you don't hear every day, but we made a lot of money. We made about 2.6 million on a great demand over there. So we probably won't be storing as much in the biogas plant just for that reason. And we're even playing on normal, by the way. There's just a lot of money to be made in biogas, I guess. So, but on easy, yeah, it's even more ridiculous. On easy, we probably would have cleared what, about 4 or 5 million, and we didn't even get it all sold. We only sold about well, really about half of it, because there's about a bunker and a half left over there on Bjornholm. So we're just riding along here, and we'll get turned around and empty this guy out. And I guess we'll maybe do one more corn. How much do we have? We don't have any barley, really. I guess we sold. I guess we hit that great demand, and then we never. We really need to plant another barley. Well, we'll make that decision when we get down there, I guess. I guess we could do a barley and pick it up with the pick up the straw with the forage harvester. How cool is that, though? A case tractor and a case combine working together. See a good screenshot right there. Really, the opening scene was probably the best one. Even got the case header on there on that combine. When we go for the big guy, we'll get the Capello corn header. See, this works out. Oh yeah, and I don't know if you noticed it or not, but when we got up there, we divided the field in half. Because this combine actually won't. It's a 10,000 liter combine, and even with a 12,000 liter combine, you know, you get to these bigger fields like 18, especially when you run that east-west track there. Move to the next one. The combine will fill up before it gets to the end of the field. So what we did was, I don't know if I can zoom out far enough here so you can see it. You can see that the other half of the field is still planted, you know, north to south there. We haven't harvested it all yet. Basically, we just cut a mid-row down the center. And on these fields, usually, with the exception of a handful like 11 and I don't know, maybe like 4 or something like that, the number usually sits right in the middle of the field. You look at it long ways. Like 15 is in the middle, north to south. 21's in the middle, east to west. So basically, we just cut a mid-row out right down the center of the field, and you're starting to be able to see it there. And what we'll do is we'll harvest one half, and then we'll go and harvest the other half. And this way, we still get the yield off the entire field. And we don't have to drive on the crop when he gets full, because he'll get full before he gets to the end. And with his pipe, with his auger pipe sticking out towards this left here, when he goes back towards the west, he'll have to stop before he gets to the end, and we don't really want to drive on the crop. So this way, now we have to stay with him until he gets to the end doing this, just so he stays empty. So yeah, we got this mid-row cut here, and we have to keep him empty all the way to this end, because he'll be full once he gets back down that other end, or close to it. Alright, we'll just go ahead and meet him back down at this other end. Let's see where our other vehicles are. This guy's just sitting here. He's harvesting. I got this guy here. Don't know why. I must have done something with him previously. And I parked the forage harvester here at the end of 19. And I was going to work my way back to the east, but we're probably going to harvest all of this now. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move him over here on the side of the road, so it won't be in the way of the harvester when it comes through. We may have to cut a mid-row on 19. It's kind of long, so. And we're back where we started. Climb on top of my tractor. Yeah, this is realistic, isn't it? Here he comes. Let's go sit with him for a minute. See, he's got a 10,000 liter capacity, and he's about over, yeah, he's over half full. He's 53, 54% now. So yeah, he's getting up there. There's a high yield off of corn, so he's over 60% now. And if he had continued on down the field there, he would have filled up before he got to the end. So alright, we'll hop out of him, walk through the corn backwards there. And we'll get ready to go alongside him. See, that front one's full, isn't it? Uh-oh. That's what happens when you bump a button. Play catch up. Just getting this corn in here. And I forgot how much we have in the biogas plant here. I need to go take a look at that. Cannot remember. And we're getting pretty full here. We're going to have to go empty soon. Over 1,500 liters. Go ahead and throw that cover on there. And here we go. Alright, I'm going to pull this hill here a little bit. And I called the bank to see if it would be okay to cross field 18 since they own it, so they said it would be fine. So we're just going to cross 18 and head on down to the homestead here and get emptied out. Coming through, sir. One thing I'm looking forward to in Farming Simulator 17, you can turn the traffic off in single player. You can play in multiplayer and there's no traffic here, but I think you can turn it on and off in both modes, maybe on Farming Sim 17. So we got our corn in 16 here. It's still growing. And you know, correct me if I'm wrong, I have seen forage harvesters more often in YouTube videos cut corn when it's still green. But on here, you can't cut it until it turns, you know, the brown, you know, harvester type color. So I'm curious why you can't cut it while it's, you know, thick and green. The brakes. All right. Alright, let's get back over to our harvester here. Yeah, the trees over here on the south side of 16 have become more of a long-term goal now, I guess you could say. I don't know how long I've been saying we're going to cut those things, but eventually we will have a cutting episode where we cut those trees right there. We've got the log trailer still sitting over there waiting for that job, so we'll get rid of them sometime soon. Right now we're going to do this corn harvest, and we need to we really probably need to plant that barley in this next episode, because we have 0 barley, and if we hit another great demand, we won't be able to provide. So alright, hey, we did pretty good on that timing. He's just about to turn around down here, so he didn't fill up too bad. Oh, I say that, there goes his lights. I think we can get him emptied though before he stops. Yeah, he'll turn around and we can get him emptied here. Good deal. So yeah, if you stay with him and just cut a mid-row down there at the center of these fields. Now 18's a little bit longer if you ran it east to west. Even cutting a mid-row on that one might not work with this small harvester, but it should work with the big harvester. I don't know, we'll have to test that and see, I guess. But yeah, we're harvesting the corn. This will go to somebody that needs corn. Maybe they'll make popcorn out of it, or what else do they make out of corn? Popcorn, chips, corn in a can. Not candy corn, although that is good. They make a lot of stuff with corn. Cornbread. Make a list in the comments, guys. My personal favorite is popcorn, but you know, anyhow, this will go all across America to the movie theaters. Everybody will watch movies and eat popcorn. There you go. Love the texture on this. You can actually zoom into it here. Try to do this and not wreck. See the corn? Although it is invisible underneath it, I find that's kind of funny, because you can see the bottom of the trailer. But yeah, I like the texture on that corn. You can zoom in like that. When we get our into some of our bigger equipment, we'll get an auger wagon, and we'll have trucks waiting on the ends of the fields to offload that auger wagon. And it should run a little quicker, I think, that with that time, because you won't have to leave the harvester to go all the way back to the homestead. Be able to unload it and just run right back to it. And eventually we could manage 2 harvesters if you start them at the right time. So eventually we'll get 2 harvesters. We'll start out with a big one, and then we may, I don't know, we may sell the little guy right here. We may not. We may keep him. He's a really good combine. So we may make him the 3rd man. I don't know. 3's a crowd, but we'll see how it works out. It's harder to manage more than 2 if you're working it in single player. And I've said before, you know, we'll probably open this map up and do some multiplayer episodes on it. So if you ever catch us in multiplayer and you see the Grain Arcade, come on in and say hello and let me get to know you. I'd like to bring you in and help out on the farm here. Jump back in with him. You know, one thing, I need to reset the vehicles so they're in order now. Put the case near the combine. And I like to wait until we get more equipment to do that, though. Really need to do that on Bjornholm. We made too much money over there. We made 2.6 million. I think we're back with 90,000 now. I spent over $2 million on equipment. I mean, it's a good way to break the map, that biogas plant. But I mean, it's good money. It's honest money, I'll say. Besides getting see, I can't talk. Besides getting a solar panel and a windmill, I mean, at least you're working it. So you have the forage harvester, and you pick it up, you put it in there, you compact it. I mean, at least you're working to get it. And here I am starting to lose my voice. Hopefully we won't lose it before the end of this episode. I think we got enough time to finish this field out here, or this half of the field. Case IH, it is an axial flow. Look at that. I thought only the big one was the axial flow. This one is too. And no, you can't do a straw swaths with this. This automatically turns these blades on back here, and it's turns the cutter on. So can't do that with corn, unfortunately. But we'll probably we'll probably do barley again next. I'd like to do another corn. I'd really like to do another canola, even though we have 136 of it. Of course, we got 263 of wheat now. Oh boy, I need to pay attention to my duties here. He's getting full. He's going to end up stopping on me. Get up to him full speed here if we can, before he stops. Yeah, see how full he gets in the top of that hopper there? There we go. I hate that auto zoom. See, look at that. Just move the camera just a little bit, and just like that. See, I mean, you get busy doing a task and you need to see right where you're at, and it just flicks back and forth. Look at that. I'm not even moving the joystick now. Let's see, move it just a little bit, and boom, back out. Move it just a little bit, back in. Move it just a little bit, back out. I hate that. All I want to do is pan this thing without it going in and out. I think there's a setting now in Farm Sim 17 when it comes out that you can turn off that feature, that auto zoom. It would make it so much more enjoyable. So I'm curious to see what all maps they'll have. So far the only one they've revealed, there it goes again, is Goldcrest Valley. And I mean, I know there'll be more than one map, I'm pretty sure, so Snovka would be back on there. But it might be kind of nice to have, you know, old Westbridge back. Bjornholm, I don't know. A lot of people don't like Bjornholm, and I know why, because it has smaller fields. But I don't know, I'm just curious to see what other maps they'll have on there. It'd be nice to have like a UK map on there. All right, well, we're going to let this guy keep on going. He's got just a little bit left there. And before the next episode, we'll go ahead and harvest the rest of this field here and maybe go ahead and harvest the rest of the next 2 down there. And maybe we can get it finished up over on 16 and deliver the order that is coming up here soon. So until next time, remember, you reap what you sow. It's Matt from the Grain Arcade.